Takuma Sakamoto, a seasoned gamer, is mysteriously transported to a virtual world of his favorite game MMORPG, Cross Reverie, having the same appearance as his character in the game, the Demon Lord Diablo. And Diablo is considered the most powerful character in the game. After entering the other world, he comes to know that he was summoned by the Panthurian girl Rem and the elf Shira, and they both have tried an enslavement ritual on him by giving him a kiss. And both the girls claim that they summoned him and seem to argue about that. Next, it is revealed that they are standing on the Starfall Tower located on the border of the Kingdom of Liferia. Then Takuma finally talks to them and stops their reasoning with his magic. Then they both attempt to use a magic spell to enslave Takuma, but the magic is reflected by the special ring Takuma is wearing, and the enslavement collar appears on Rem and Shira's necks instead. In the next scene, the trio seems walking toward the city while introducing each other, and Shira becomes happy to know that Takuma is a demon lord. In the next scene, they reach the city, Faltra, and go to a hotel where they can stay. Here Rem and Shira both want to share a room with Takuma, but he becomes worried about it and denies it. When the attendant feels that they are making a disturbance, she says that she will kick all of them out. Then the trio end up sharing a single room with a single bed. At the moment, Celestine Baudelaire is the head of the town's mage association, arrives there along with his two bodyguards. She says that wants to talk to Rem, and also she would like to hear Takuma's story. Afterwards, the trio meets Celestine at dinner. She wants to help the girls to remove their collars, but her bodyguard named Galak talks rudely with Takuma, and Rem doesn't want to go with her to the association headquarters. However, she leaves saying that she will look for a way of removing their collars. Through that discussion, Takuma learns that Rem is hiding some very important secret from him. Then Takuma takes her to the room saying that he will torture her. In the room, he pretends to torture her, but she becomes moved by Takuma and tells her secret that the soul of Demon Lord Krebsglum is sealed within her, and she wants to defeat that soul. Then Takuma consoles her that he will work to free her from Krebsglum, and it makes a bond between them. The following night, Takuma is faced by Galak, who attempts to kill him with the powers of level 30. But he is told that Takuma is on level 150, so he kills the monster created by Galak, leaving him amazed, and tells him that he is the Diablo, the Demon Lord. EP2, Takuma wakes up in the morning and finds his hand on Shira's breast, and he has lost control of his hand. Later, Takuma, Shira, and Rem go to join an adventurers guild. On the way, Takuma notices the humans of many races here. Rem and Shira argue on their levels in this virtual world, while Rem claims that she has level 40. Then he tells them about the incident that happened to him last night. Shira tells them that the Adventurers Guild has the means to access the level, so they decide to check them as well. When they enter the guild, Takuma finds the place scary because a lot of strange people were present there. However, they step further to get them registered. Takuma made his form filled out by Shira, and the receptionist tells him to place a blood seal on his form. After that, she takes them in front of a mirror which tells them about magic strength and guides them in check. And they come to know that Shira has level 30, but when Takuma checks, the whole system starts malfunctioning. Then the guild master Sylvie comes to investigate the matter. She explains to them that Takuma possesses a high level, but we are not able to conclude it. Then she gives him a quest to kill Madara Snake in the man-eating woods. On the way, the trio runs into a group of elves who reveal that Shira is the princess of the Green Woods, and they are informed that Diablo has made him a slave. Then they ask her to go home with them, but she refuses because she was being forced by her brother to marry him and take care of his son. Hearing that, all the elves get angry and attack Diablo. He uses his magical powers to turn them down easily. After that, it is revealed that the elves were informed by Galak where to find Diablo and Shira, and he comes out of the bushes and he had been watching their defeat. Then he berates the elves that they have lost to Diablo, but she beats him up and he runs away. And Shira tells the elf that she will never return home, so you would get back home. Later at the inn, Takuma and Shira talk about the elves there, and Shira praises him for his amazing magical powers and gets in a romantic mood lying on Takuma, and tells him that she never wants him to love Rem. And then she reveals that he always looks at her breast, and she says that her breasts are bigger than Rem's. But at the moment, Rem enters the room and gets so aggressive, saying, "I knew that mine is small." EP3, Sylvie gives the trio another quest by Celestine at the guild. She tells them that the task is so easy and has a greater reward, but Rem denies accepting that because she don't want to owe any favors from Celestine. But Takuma thinks that earning more money will help them a lot, so he decides to accept the quest with Shira. Then the matter settled here, when three of them want to leave the guild. Takuma is challenged by Emil Bichel-Berger, the greatest level 50 warrior of the guild, who thinks that Takuma has forced the girls and is doing something wrong with them. Rem and Shira try to explain to him, but he attacks Takuma and he easily handles his first magical attack. Then he uses a more powerful magic spell to attack him, but to no avail. Takuma throws him with a single punch. Then Rem tells him that they are enslaved by their fault even though Takuma is helping them to get rid of it. After that, Takuma and Shira start the quest, which is to deliver that going to the bridge Ulug and deliver some refreshment. On the way to the bridge, they find a river and Shira wants to have a bath there because she feels bored, but Takuma denies it, saying that they have to work hard to complete the quest. Then after that, they reach the guards at Ulug Bridge and deliver the refreshments. But all of a sudden the guard informs them that Fallen with a huge army is approaching them. This makes all of them worried, and thinking that the guards could not handle them alone, Takuma proclaims that he will voluntarily defend the bridge. In a while, Fallen reaches a huge army of gigantic animal-like monsters, but Takuma easily kills one of them and asks if they want to continue. Back in the city, Celestine has some clashes with his bodyguard Galak. She fires him immediately, knowing that he is doing something wrong in the city. And she tells it to Rem and says she suspects that Diablo, Takuma, is the Fallen. But she denies it and tells her that he is such a nice person that promised to help me. At that moment, Galak reaches there and shouts that everybody is lying to him and that Celestine has fired him so he used to hurt them all. He asks Celestine, "Why have you fired me? I have devoted my life to the Mage Association." And he seems so aggressive that he stabs an evil dagger in him and transforms into Fallen Gregor to take revenge on Celestine. On the bridge, Takuma keeps killing the monsters until their leader named Edelgard comes close to Takuma and scares him. But he decides to defeat her so that the monsters would stop attacking them. She reveals that she is the strongest lancer of the Fallen. Therefore she runs to attack Takuma with a wave of great anger in her eyes. EP4, the people in the city are moved to the safe sides and Gregor chases Rem and Celestine, aiming to kill her and destroy the protective barrier she created around the city. But Rem summons a monster to defend them, but he is banished by the single of Gregor. At that moment, Emil appears to save them, but all his attacks leave any damage to Gregor. Then he uses his most powerful magic attack, but he doesn't even move an inch. Then Gregor fires him with dark bullets and he becomes badly injured, but he doesn't accept the defeat and stands alone to face Gregor. Meanwhile, the army also surrounds Gregor. On the bridge, Takuma fights with Edelgard, but none of them gives an inch. Both sides' armies stand still around to watch them fighting. Takuma assumes that she has level 80, but yet she is not able to defeat him. Then she uses the sacrificial charge, one of the strongest magical attacks on Takuma, but he remains the same as before. Hence Takuma thinks that she would withdraw her army, although she concludes about Takuma's unbelievable strength, but doesn't want to quit without killing him. At that moment, a Takuma's side soldier informs him that Celestine and Rem are attacked by a Fallen. And they come to know that she sent Grigri to the city with a plan that they would enter the city and kill Celestine. Hearing this, Takuma instantly uses White Nova, one of his strongest attacks ever, which vanishes the whole army of Fallen. Then he teleports Shira and himself to Rem and Celestine, who are badly injured by Gregor, and Emil seems about to die. Then he faces Gregor alone. Gregor takes him so easily and attacks him with dark bullets, but due to Takuma's magic reflection, the bullets return to Gregor. Then he uses a dark press, which is also returned to him. Then he realizes the actual power of Demon Lord Diablo, and he is ultimately dealt with by him. After that, Rem and Shira hug him happily. Later they buried all the Fallen near the city, and the city is rehabilitated. 10 days later, Takuma wakes up on his bed and finds Shira in a bikini, who wants to have some fun with him, but she is interpreted by Rem and she tells him to stay away from Takuma, but she hugs him again. Seeing this, Rem also hugs him. Meanwhile, Sylvie arrives and makes all of them shocked. She tells them about a quest that would cause Shira to return, but she says that she had not accepted that. Then she says, "I have a quest for you to stop the war from breaking out with the Elven Kingdom." And the episode ends.